Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to Full Chest. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you already know what to do. Just hit the subscribe button below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel, man. What are you guys waiting for? Just subscribe to the channel. Let's get the engagement up. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And again, if you subscribe and subscribe to any of my videos, I'll definitely respond to your comment. Yeah, man. So, I mean, this is the season of hypertension, I guess, because it's already it's World Cup qualifier season. I think like every region. So you have the CONCACAF, you have the CONMEBOL going on, you have the UEFA going on, you have the Asian League going on, and you have the CAF going on. It's just a whole bunch of football going on this season, right? Which is great, for a football person like myself. It's a good time. But the main issue here today, I mean, I don't know if yesterday a whole bunch of African teams played, including your favorite, Nigeria. So the Super Eagles played yesterday against Zimbabwe, right? African football has changed, right? And I'm gonna go back a bit as we have this discussion or we converse. So I'm gonna go back and forth a bit. No, I remember when people did not even know who Zimbabwe was in African football. Who? Lesotho, Rwanda, what? And African football has changed, which is great. Like Benin Republic. I'm like, what? But now, these countries are coming up, which is good for the continent. There is more competition, which is great. It's good stuff, great stuff happening. But here's my take, right? It seems like African football has evolved. Every other country has evolved, but Nigeria is stagnant, and Nigeria is still living on old glory. And that's the problem. That's one of the problems the Super Eagles have. Okay, now let me back off for a minute, right? I'm a Super Eagles fan, Nigerian. I started watching football. My first World Cup was USA 94. USA 94 was my first. After USA 94, I was addicted. I played football throughout primary school, university, some college, and my next World Cup was, of course, France 98. France 98 was in primary school then, and all these World Cups, Nigeria did amazing. We reached the knockout stage, and we had great teams. And just follow me, right? I'm gonna kind of connect everything I'm saying together as I proceed. And once we entered into the mid 2000s, I think Korea Japan 2022 or something, we were there. We didn't qualify since 2018. We've not qualified, so we didn't go to the last World Cup. And Nigeria the chances are very slim that Nigeria is going to go to 2026. Now, for me personally, I don't think Nigeria has the best team on the continent. For me, my top 5 teams on the continent, and this is just my teams, is Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Senegal, Ghana, and I like Mali. These are my teams. Yeah. I mean, then you have the Egypts, of course, Morocco, Tunisia. Morocco is a phenomenal team, right? So you have those teams. And the thing is that when most of these teams are playing with another team, you kind of know that who is gonna win. For example, Ghana won Chad 3-0 last time. Of course, Chad, Ghana, what? Ghana is meant to win that game. And they rightfully did so. They were even meant to win by more than that. And apart from that, you can see that Ghana has improved in their play. They've taken criticism. They've improved. So they're doing pretty well, good in this World Cup qualifier. Now, let me go to my bone of contention. Now, like after the game yesterday between Nigeria and Zimbabwe, like a lot of people have their comments. People are talking about, oh, Osimhen is angry, he's behaving. Man, if I'm him, I'll punch this. I'll throw all the chairs on the substitute bench away. Osimhen is doing everything he needs to do. This guy is 26, right? And if K is not taken, he might not taste or feel a World Cup because of his teammates. Yes, it's because of the type of team that surrounds him. Osimhen is clinical. He's the type of player that does what a striker is supposed to do. He's not into all the other gimmicks. His job is to score goals, and he does that. He hustles. He's passionate. You can see it in him. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to get to that as I link all these things together. Now, like I mentioned before, ever since the late 80s, early 1990s, the Nigerian national team has not been what it should be. I think our last good team for me was France 98 was a phenomenal team. Of course, the Olympic team, 1996, great team. We can have those teams, but the Nigerian Football Federation, something has happened within. And I pray that there's no corruption going on in terms of how they elect players and things like that. I want to hope that things are done the right way and things are not being done the wrong way. Now, if we look at the Nigerian national team from 1998 onwards, you will see that the team, the core of the team, and this is going to be a bit controversial, what I'm about to say, but someone has to say it, and I'm going to say it with my full chest. And before I say what I need to say and give you the reason why Nigeria is not going to be a good team unless it finds a way to tackle some of this issue, is because football, when it comes to, and Okocha said the right thing, that it's not about the coach. The coach is not, it's not about changing every time you're changing coach. It's not. The coach is about 25% of the problem. Because at this level that these players play, the coach is more of a manager. That's why they call them managers. They manage the team. They're not really coaching. They're not doing any of that. So it's not about the coach. It's not. And it's one of the points Okocha made that I really think is one of the major things, is that he said that the players need to understand that they are not just playing for themselves, but they are playing for the whole country. And because the emotions of the whole country is attached, they need to do better. This is absolutely, I could not agree any more with Okocha with this statement. But here is the thing though. You can't have that when key players of a team are foreign players. Let me say that one more time. You can have a team that understands the emotions or understand that they are carrying a country on their back when most of the players, not all, most and key and prominent players in the team are all foreigners. They are all British. They are Dutch. I'm going to break this down. In the Nigerian national team, this is the first time, and I didn't know this. I've been trying to figure out why these boys, they lack passion. They lack tenacity. When it's time to close, they can't close. And I agree that, yes, Nigeria, the team has had this problem. It's not novel. They've had this problem for a while. But it's becoming worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, what is going on? And I decided to listen to some of the interviews with the players. And when I listen to Lukman talk, Lukman is British. Aina is British. Calvin Bassey is British. Truss Ekong is Dutch. And there are other players on the team too that I can't name all of them. Alex Iwobi, he was born in Lagos, but he moved to London at the age of 6. So most of his developing years are in London or in England. So he is British as well. I'm pretty sure he's a British citizen. Now, I don't have any problem with this. These are great players in their own right. I don't have any problem with having boys born in different countries represent, or they say, oh, I always wanted to play for my father, all that stuff. Yeah, whatever. If the English team took them, they will play for England. If the Netherlands called Truss Ekong, he won't be playing for Nigeria. I don't care what any of them talk about. Oh, this has always been my father's dream. No. There's a reason why these other countries did not accept these players. Nigeria should be careful that we don't become, our national team is not reduced to a team of taking over leftovers. There has to be prerequisites. There has to be strict qualifications for you to wear the nation on your back. We cannot be too quick to just accept everybody coming to the national team, because at the end of the day, it's not just about skills. It's not just about talent. Sometimes it's passion and pride that catapults a player, that gives him that extra oomph, that extra zeal to succeed. It's something more. And when you have players who does not understand what it is to be Nigerian through and through, they don't understand, they've not lived the Nigerian life, there is a problem. I know some people might say, oh, it does not matter, oh, their mother, their father, what? No, it matters. It matters a lot. It's hard for me to name any other country where majority of their starters are all people who were not raised in the country. Because there is a thing when you've played, most of these boys did not play ball on the street with barefoot. Osimhen and the goalkeeper in the team are the only passionate players we have, and you can see it. Alex Iwobi, I don't even know why he's on the team, honestly. And again, I'm not taking away anything from him, but he does not mix well. During the African Cup of Nations, he missed so much goal. Yesterday, he missed a goal. He just needed to kick the ball in the net, and he kicked it somewhere else. He looks like a player who is always nervous. He looks like a player who is not where he's supposed to be. He does not fit into the mold. He has never. And I always wonder, why do they keep calling him back? When you have other players who are local, even players who are local in the clubs in Nigeria should be able to be on the national team. We should not have players who, because, the inferiority complex of Nigeria, they speak English well, they've been playing with the Europeans, they will mix well. No. This is a problem that the Nigerian national team have. All the past teams, if you look at the times of another thing, let's talk about the captain of the team, right? One of the reasons why Nigeria didn't make it yesterday is because of defense. Our defense was lapse. Truss Ekong is the captain of the team, the Dutchman. He couldn't hold his line. Truss Ekong is not, I don't even feel like he's the captain. Let's look at some of the captains that I remember. When a captain, I remember the days when in Nigerian football, the captain of the team is like the captain of the whole country. He's like our captain. Most recently, Obi Mikel. We all felt he deserved it. He was the captain of the team. When Peter Rufai was the captain. Man, even though he was a goalkeeper, we felt him. Sunday Olise. Sunday Olise was like the captain of Nigeria. Let's talk about the previous teams we had. When we had people like Taribo West, Rashidi Yekini, Emmanuel Omokachi, Emenike, Sunday Olise, Uche Okechukwu, Victor Ikpeba, Efe Soje, all these boys were Niger boys. Guy Balawa, these are Babangida, all these guys were Niger boys through and through. Now, let's talk about Victor Moses. Victor Moses is a British, that's why he was always missing goals. One of the most terrible attacking players we ever had. Nigeria needs to stop just giving the right to play on the Super Eagles to anybody. Especially boys who, if they had their way, they will not be playing for the Super Eagles. They'll be playing for England. Or they'll be playing for any other country that their parents are from. The only reason why they are playing for the Super Eagles is because they were not accepted by the country. Because why? They were not good enough. Then why are they good enough for the Super Eagles? This is my problem. And again, I'm not taking anything away from this. They are great players in their own right. But there is something different from playing from your club and playing for a national team. You have to earn the right. Not only because of your skills, but because of you have the pride in you. And Nigeria has forgotten that when it's making its selection. That is the reason why we might not qualify for 2026 and we're not going to qualify for any other World Cup going forward. I'm even happy that Nigeria is already showing their nyash. Because I don't want to get hypertension in 2026. If they cannot win Zimbabwe? What? We can't win Benin Republic? Lesotho? Rwanda? Now South Africa. Yes, I can understand. We should be wiping the field with this other country. And no disrespect to the other countries, but when it comes to football, come on, man. Come on. So the problem is that we have diluted the pride of the team and we are giving away jerseys to people who are not really deserving of it. I remember the first time I saw Calvin, I'm like, who is this? Then I heard him talk. I said, oh, he's British. Is that why he's on the team? Their local players were better than him. Way better than him. Lookman is the African Footballer of the Year. He didn't play nothing during these qualifiers. All this hype. Osimhen is the only person that has given his blood, sweat, and tears every time because he's what? He's a Niger boy through and through. He understands what it means to be Nigerian. He understands it. He has lived it. He knows. I don't even think Trust Ekong can communicate properly with his teammates. I hardly hear him talk. I've never seen him garner up the team properly. So, man, it's just a lot, right? It's just a lot. And I think that the Nigerian Football Federation, Abuja, needs to do something when it comes to selecting players to represent the national team. Whatever the players do in their clubs is fine. We should have Team A, Team B, Team C. And we should have a team full of locals. Boys who are hungry, who have the passion to represent their country. Not boys who are born in England, who would rather play for the English national team than we now bring them. Then they come and run around and say, oi, oi, and mate, and go home. Trust Ekong lives in the Netherlands. After everything, he goes back to Holland. It makes no sense. And again, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having them play, but we have to be careful and we have to know that football is not just about tactics, and there's a psychological part of football, and most of the time the psychological part supersedes because that is what gives the extra push. Most of the great teams, Brazil, Argentina, they are all Argentines, indigenes of their country through and through. They all grew up, they played together. They might go out and train abroad, they come back, because they build the sense of countrymen. And they understand that, man, I am not playing for myself, I am playing for my country. Until Nigeria gets a team who understands this, we're not going to be able. The Super Eagles are not going to go anywhere further than playing African Cup of Nations and reaching the finals. And that's it. That's my 2 cents. If anyone thinks otherwise, and again, I want to mention that what I've stated is not the only reason, right? Nigeria has other tactical problems, but one thing I have noticed of recent is that the Super Eagles is a team full of foreign nationals. And when it comes to the World Cup is serious business. The World Cup is you're representing your country. When you have a team full of people who do not understand what it means, you have a team full of Jollof and Afrobeat Nigerians, they're not going to take it seriously. They're not. And I don't care what anybody says. They're not going to take it seriously. They're just going to be there. Oh, it's just another day. Play. After they play, they dance Afrobeats. And that's it. That's my full chest take. Let me know if you think otherwise. But I stand to be corrected.